in the radiant kingdom of Ethel, where sunlight danced on crystal spires and flowers bloomed in a riot of color, lived Princess Lyra. Her heart was as bright as her kingdom, full of kindness and a thirst for adventure. But beyond the shimmering borders of Ethel lay the Gloomwood, a shadowy forest that separated them from the lost kingdom of Nocturne, a land said to be perpetually cloaked in twilight. Legend whispered that Nocturne was once as vibrant as Ethel, ruled by a wise king and queen. But a curse had fallen, spawning creatures known as Darklings, mischievous, shadowy beings that fed on light and joy, slowly draining the kingdom of its color and life. The path between the two realms was lost, and with it all hope of restoring Nocturne. One evening, while exploring the royal library, Lyra discovered an ancient leather-bound book. Its pages depicted a prophecy. A princess of sunlight would journey through the Gloomwood, guided by a star-forged amulet to find the heart of Nocturne and break the curse. Tucked within the book's final page was a delicate, star-shaped pendant that pulsed with a faint, warm light. Lyra knew what she had to do. Under the cover of a moonless night, she slipped out of the castle, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. As she approached the edge of the Gloomwood, the amulet around her neck began to glow brightly, casting a protective aura that pushed back the encroaching shadows. The twisted trees seemed to recoil from her light as she stepped onto the darkened path. The journey was challenging. Whispers slithered from the shadows, and strange glowing eyes watched her from the undergrowth. These were the Darklings. They were small, elusive creatures made of living shadow with bright, curious eyes. They didn't seem evil, just lost and lonely. Remembering a story her grandmother used to tell, Lyra began to hum a gentle lullaby. To her surprise, the Darklings quieted, their glowing eyes blinking softly as they listened. They didn't attack. Instead, they began to follow her, their shadowy forms trailing behind her like a curious parade. Deeper into the forest, she reached a chasm too wide to cross. Despair began to creep in, but then she felt a gentle tug on her cloak. The Darklings chattered among themselves, then worked together, weaving their shadowy forms into a sturdy, dark bridge. Trusting them, Lyra carefully walked across, her amulet lighting the way. The little creatures had helped her. They weren't monsters, just misunderstood. Finally, she emerged from the Gloomwood and beheld the kingdom of Nocturne. It was beautiful in its own somber way, with towers of obsidian and gardens of moon-petal flowers. At its center stood a magnificent, darkened castle. A young Prince Kale stood on the balcony, his expression melancholic. He was the ruler of Nocturne, burdened by the curse that had plagued his family for generations. As Lyra approached, her amulet flared, casting a brilliant light that bathed the courtyard. The Darklings, who had followed her, huddled behind her, not in fear of the light, but in awe. Prince Kale watched, stunned, as Lyra held up the amulet. The light pulsed, spreading through the kingdom like a gentle wave, not erasing the shadows, but harmonizing with them. The curse wasn't one of pure darkness, but of imbalance. Nocturne had lost its connection to the light, and Ethel had forgotten the beauty of the night. The Darklings weren't creatures of evil, but manifestations of the kingdom's loneliness. As the light from Lyra's amulet touched the castle, it didn't banish the twilight but made it sparkle with 1,000 tiny stars. The colors of Nocturne returned, not bright and bold like Ethel's, but deep and rich, like velvet and jewels. Prince Kael felt the weight lift from his shoulders for the first time in his life. He smiled, a true, hopeful smile that lit up his face. The Darklings danced around Lyra and Kael, no longer just shadows, but beings of shimmering dusk. The two kingdoms were reconnected not to become one, but to celebrate their differences, the radiant day of Ethel and the enchanting twilight of Nocturne. Princess Lyra and Prince Kael, the rulers of sun and shadow, showed their people that true magic lies not in eliminating the dark, but in finding the light within it. Thank you for watching this magical tale. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more fairy tales. See you next time.